We're now going to bring you someone who has never been a guest on This Week or on any other Sunday public affairs show. He's an important and influential voice in politics and culture with millions of...
Who is he an important, influential voice in politics and culture to? Let's start there. See, because this is how the mainstream media is fake. We got 75 people in here. Has Charlamagne heavily influenced any of your political beliefs, worldview, or voting? Let me know. Now, this right here, what we're watching, within the first 11 seconds of this video, this right here is state-sanctioned Democrat misinformation. And guess what? There's no embedded message from Google or YouTube on the bottom to say that the things that were stated here cannot be proven. Why is that? Why is that? I want you guys to do a survey. Anybody who you talk to, ask them who influenced your vote. I guarantee you, very few of them people, possibly even a negligible amount, will say Charlamagne influenced them. Shout out to PD that remains. What's good with it, bro?
We're now going to bring you someone who has never been a guest on This Week or on any other Sunday public affairs show. He's an important and influential voice in politics and culture with millions of followers and listeners, which is why the White House pays attention to what he has to say. He's known as Charlamagne.
Why is the White House paying attention to Charlamagne? More like the white media pays attention to Charlamagne, not the White House. Would you guys agree? It's probably more accurate to say the white media pays attention to Charlamagne more so than the White House. Yeah, I gotta agree. If you guys agree with Torian, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Torian says both sides think that we're politically stupid. I agree. They do think that, and they try to really project that, and they try to keep pushing that message and bombarding people with that message until everybody, including us, they try to get us to believe it. But we already know what time it is. We already know the deal.
The God, and I sat down with him for this exclusive interview. He's one of the most influential voices in morning radio.
Yep, it's the world's most dangerous morning show, The Breakfast Club. Charlamagne the God, just hilarious. I don't know what the hell Envy is at.
Also a television personality, podcast host.
Envy probably in an interview with the feds is probably where Envy is at. Or talking to his lawyer somewhere. Since Charlamagne forgot and doesn't know where he possibly could be at, I'm just throwing some places out there where he might be.
And New York Times bestselling author. His interviews with pop stars and politicians making viral moments like this.
So what's something that you always carry with you?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a viral moment. What y'all think about the viral moment right there? I'm gonna tell you something. Hillary Clinton, first and foremost, right? We're not talking about food, but since she wanted to bring up hot sauce, she doesn't carry hot sauce with her everywhere. She doesn't carry hot sauce with her everywhere. Now, I missed what they talked about with Crater Face over here. I didn't even know she was on there.
Making viral moments like this.
So what's something that you always carry with you?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Are you getting information right now?
Leonard McKelvey, known to America as Charlamagne the God, has built his following on charisma, comedy, and blunt questions.
What was you thinking earlier this year when you got caught cheating in Vegas?
Hey, brother,
Mr. Irresponsible.
In the last presidential election, the Breakfast Club became a must-stop for Democratic candidates.
Now, why? Why was the Breakfast Club a must-stop for Democratic candidates? It wasn't no must-stop for Democratic candidates. The people that own the Breakfast Club are invested in Democrat politicians maintaining or gaining more power. That's the reason why those people had a pass to go on the Breakfast Club. Would you guys agree?
average of more than 6 million monthly listeners, candidates sought to appeal to its younger, diverse audience. And in 2019, Charlamagne appeared.
They brought on Pete Buttigieg. They brought on Pete Buttigieg. I would never bring on somebody called Pete Buttigieg. Shout out to Jay the Informant with the $2 super chat. Make sure y'all show him some love. He says, I got the Latin vote, a taco in my back pocket. Shout out to Melanin on Code. Melanin on Code said, because they be shilling. What more can I say? Top shilling. You know what I'm saying?
Younger, diverse audience. And in 2019, Charlamagne appeared at a campaign rally with then presidential candidate Kamala Harris. But it was his 2020 interview with Joe Biden that made the biggest splash and drew criticism of Biden for his comments on black voters.
If you have a problem,
now, mind you, they just went right past the fried shit, or right past the hot sauce, right? They went right past the hot sauce. They went right past Kamala Harris and her screwed up timeline of what hip hop albums that she used to listen to. They went past all of that. They need to make a Democrat fail compilation of Breakfast Club takes. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. They should make a Breakfast Club compilation of Democrat fails and then give it to Uncle Murder for Uncle Murder to write a rap about it. We need to have Uncle Murder do an election year wrap up. Now, you wanted to sit there and talk about celebrities? Oh, we don't need to have no celebrities. Let's do that, right? I'm gonna ask Uncle Murder to do an election year wrap up. I bet you that's something that they won't call him on there to talk about. I bet you News Nation won't call him on there to ask about that. I bet you Fox News won't have Uncle Murder on there. Where'd you get this stuff from for the election year wrap up? I guarantee you he won't say that. They won't bring him on there. I'm just saying.
Figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
I met with Charlamagne at his radio studio to discuss the state of American politics. I saw you describe this campaign that we're headed into as a race between the cowards, the crooks, and the couch.
Yeah, the crooks are the Republicans. The cowards are the Democrats because they don't fight hard enough on anything. And, you know, the couch is voter apathy. And, you know, that's who everybody is up against in 2000.
Facts. You ain't never lied. Shout out to Ron. Ron said, let's not forget the scammers that the Breakfast Club promotes on air. Let me ask you, that's a great comment, Ron. Let me ask you guys this question. How much money do you think that the Breakfast Club has cost people? Shout out to Hurricane IQ for being a like enforcer. Make sure y'all throw some like enforcers in the chat for Hurricane IQ. Appreciate you, bro. Where we at? Let me see where we at. We got 80 people watching. We got 80 people watching. Shout out to y'all. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all could be anywhere, but y'all in here kicking it with us. And we got 57 likes. If everybody take a moment and smash that like button, we'll be at our 100 and we can start moving towards 120. Make sure y'all smash that like button. If you've already smashed it, make sure y'all hit the bell and subscribe if you're not subscribed. And please, wherever you're watching from, share the stream.
24th. And right now, it feels like the couch is going to win. I don't know who that benefits. By the couch winning. But Charlamagne big mad because the couch look like it's the front runner. The couch gear in the description box. The couch gear is in the description box. You know what I'm saying? But Charlamagne not real happy about the couch. Now, you know what's interesting about Charlamagne talking about the couch? Charlamagne's not talking about the reason why people might pick the couch. Because there's actually a reason why people might pick the couch. There's a reason for that. It's not just an arbitrary move. There's a reason why. And you could tell the people that's out of the loop because they don't get it. They don't understand. Anybody that's staying on the couch this year, ain't nobody that's staying on the couch mad at anybody that decides to vote for somebody other than Democrats. You don't hear us over here telling people, hey, if you plan on voting for Trump or something, don't do that. Don't do that. You ain't getting that message from over here. We're asking the question, what have Democrats done? And how has reactive reflex voting blue, no matter who, for decades, how has that benefited? It has not benefited. It has caused a net negative effect. So all of these issues that Charlamagne's sitting up there talking about, including the economy, all of those have been compounded by years of reactive blue no matter who voting. But notice how Charlamagne didn't say that, but he's the political expert that these people chose to give an interview to. You think there's a reason why they chose to give him an interview? Because he's not very bright.
It's in the couch.
Yeah, the crooks are the Republicans, the cowards are the Democrats, because they don't fight hard enough on anything. And, you know, the couch is voter apathy. And, you know, that's who everybody is up against in 2024. And right now, it feels like the couch is going to win. I don't know who that benefits, you know, by the couch winning, but it feels like the couch is going to win.
What's your sense?
All right, so for the people that's confused, right? The people that honestly, legitimately don't know the answer to that question that Charlamagne is so condescendingly blowing off and making fun of. In the comment section, what's the purpose of Couch 2024? There's a purpose. There's a strategy. There's a means to an end. What's the purpose of Couch 2024? Let me know in the comment section. If you're watching on the replay, y'all know #replay gang, timestamp. Let me know what the purpose of Couch 2024 is. Let me know.
Gauged. How much is your audience paying attention to this race?
My audience, I feel like my audience is America. And when I'm out and about, just, you know, walking in the street, people are calling into the radio station, like nobody is inspired, you know, by the upcoming election. Like, you know, like nobody wants to see the rematch between, you know, Biden and Trump. And that's what makes me feel like the couch is going to win.
Why?
This is the first time in my life when people say things like, you know, this person is a threat to democracy. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely true. And it's mind-boggling to me that, you know, nobody...
We had 4 years of Trump as the president. Did we lose democracy? Did democracy disappear? Are we now living in communist United States? The only people that are taking away democracy are the people that are attacking the fake constitutional rights that we have. And despite the fact that the Constitution doesn't apply to us the way that it applies to everybody else, the few bit of breadcrumb benefit that we get from the Constitution, it's the Democrats who are trying to take away from it. They're trying to take away from your ability to buy guns. They're trying to take away from free speech. They're the ones locking people out of city council meetings. They're the ones that are mobilizing infrastructure like the news media, the internet companies, tech companies, and the police to attack their political opponents. I don't like Republicans because they burn crosses on the weekend. But they're not blatantly doing all of the things that I just named the way that the Democrats are. Also, we're supposed to be able to have exclusive influence on the country that we live in and pay taxes in. They're giving day one undocumented bros abilities to be able to influence our politics. I saw somebody on YouTube, I forget who it was. I think it was Tampa Supreme posted a community post that talked about California allowing a migrant or an undocumented bro or an undocumented cis to be on some type of political action committee or some type of voting committee or council or something like that. And she's not even an American citizen. That's a threat to our democracy. Our democracy is supposed to take care of Americans and it's supposed to be influenced by Americans. And they're giving that influence to other people. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I could go back on my I gotta go back in my phone and look at that post, and I'll share it onto the community tab. Shout out to my man Deformed Pretty Boy. What's good with it?
Is taking it as serious as I feel like they should. Like, we watched an attempted coup of this country happen on January 6th. And everybody's acting like it was just a bunch of people, you know, wilding at spring break, you know, down in Florida. Yeah. Like, we literally watched, you know, people try to overthrow the government because they didn't like the results of an election led by a former, you know, president. if that doesn't cause a sense of urgency in people, I don't know what will.
I mean, Biden does.
That was 70% of the population behaving like the people who created this country. Is what that was. That people are not calling it. So I don't know why we're acting like we don't know history. Charlamagne acting like he don't know history. Oh, that's right, because he's not a historian.
Make that an issue over and over again. I mean, he constantly talks about that. Why is it not resonant?
Well, he's just an uninspiring candidate. Like, you know, there's nothing about, you know, Joe Biden that makes you want to listen to him. That's why he should be leaning on, you know, his vice president, Kamala Harris, who's way more charismatic than him. He should be leaning on, you know, other surrogates like, you know, Gavin Newsom or, you know, Shapiro in Pennsylvania. Like, he should.
So I want you guys to pay attention to what Charlamagne is doing. What Charlamagne is doing is Charlamagne is being a guinea pig. He's trashing Joe Biden on the public stage, and then throwing out other Democratic candidates to see who sticks. Why don't they support Kamala Harris? Why don't they support Gavin Newsom? You guys see what's going on here? You guys see what's going on here? I want to make sure. Go watch those other videos that I did about Charlamagne on BLR2. The game is I'm going to act like I'm just as disgruntled with Biden as I am with Trump. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to trash Joe Biden. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to covertly collect information on throwing out other Democratic candidates to see what sticks, to see what people like. And then I'm going to take that information back to the paymasters. That's the play right here.
Why is it not resonant?
Well, he's just an uninspiring candidate. Like, you know, there's nothing about, you know, Joe Biden that makes you want to listen to him. That's why he should be leaning on, you know, his vice president, Kamala Harris, who's way more charismatic than him. He should be leaning on, you know, other surrogates like, you know, Gavin Newsom or, you know, Shapiro in Pennsylvania. Like, he should be leaning on people who are more inspiring than him, who are more charismatic than him. And he should just be, I guess, if you want to call it, the brains of the operation behind the scenes. Like, that sounds crazy that we're saying that about the president of the United States of America, but he has no main character energy at all. None.
And what is that? Is that age? Is it the way he is? I mean, why do you?
He said that he has no main character energy at all. Now, do you guys notice that in most of these interviews that Charlamagne has been in, he hasn't addressed in his influence, right? He hasn't addressed him inspiring a lot of people to vote for Biden. He hasn't addressed that at all. Why do you guys think that he hasn't addressed that? In any of these interviews, all he does is this performance that he's doing right here, and then he never addresses anything. Never addresses anything. Well, you know, one of the reasons why this terrible president is in office is because I used my platform to influence people who are not, you know, as politically aware, and they've trusted my word. He didn't address that. Why do you guys think that he didn't address that? And real quick, shout out to everybody that's watching. We got 83 people watching and we got 64 likes. If everybody can bang on that like button and get us to that 120, that'd be great.
What's the problem?
I don't think it has anything to do with age. You know, I think it has just everything to do with him. Like, Donald Trump is what, 3 years younger than President Biden, but he just comes off a lot more youthful. He comes off, you know, like he has a lot more energy. And I always say this about them. Donald Trump seems more sincere about his lies than Joe Biden does about his truth.
Charlamagne endorsed Joe Biden in 2020, but says it was primarily because he had chosen Kamala Harris as his running mate.
Charlamagne, you see that? You see that? Charlamagne didn't bring it up, so they did. You guys see that, right? Charlamagne, you know, he didn't bring it up, so the news did. They brought it up. You know what I'm saying?
Has she met your expectations? You've been kind of tough on her.
Yeah, no, she hasn't, you know, but I don't think it's too late for her to pivot. You know, I think that right now, you know, historically, vice presidents have always kind of played their role. Their role is to just basically parrot the president, you know.
Okay, so vice presidents are supposed to play their role. Kamala Harris's assigned role is the border czar. Let's get an opinion here. How has Kamala Harris performed as the border czar? How has she done as the border czar? That's her role. That's what she was designated to, quote unquote, play. How has she played that role? She played that role. She's been the border czar goat because she's had that title the entire time and hasn't done a damn thing about the border except ignore it.
Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. She's the border czar goat because she's sitting up there being called the border czar and not doing a damn thing. You know what I'm saying?
Speak, you know, on behalf of the president, but I think, man, we're in a new era, right? Like for new jack problems, we need new jack solutions, and she serves a unique purpose, right? Because she is the first woman of color in that position. So there's things that she could talk about. There's things that she could say. That
she is a woman of color because she definitely ain't a black woman. You know what I'm saying? But what does that have to do with her doing her job? Do you all feel that Kamala Harris has done a satisfactory job? Shout out to Christopher Perkins. What's good with it, bro? Y'all seen all the articles about y'all seen all the articles about Kamala Harris. You know, they talk about her, how she, you know, Asian and all that. You know what I'm saying? So she quote unquote, you know, she a woman of color, you know what I'm saying? She's a woman of color as defined by the Democrats. You know what I'm saying? She intersectional, right? Somebody says she should have walked through an intersection.
that I feel like, you know, he can't. And I mean, man, we all remember her in those Senate hearings when she was pressing those people, when she was like really on, you know, she was prosecuting these people. And I want to see her prosecute the case against Donald Trump in this country.
She was prosecuting black people. She was in California overly prosecuting black people. That's what Kamala Harris was doing. What is he talking about? Kamala Harris has a horrible history when it comes to criminal justice and the prosecution of black people in California. And so just so y'all see right here, Charlamagne sitting up there, oh, that's what I like to see. That's what he likes to see. So now we are clear on what Charlamagne likes to see.
I feel like she could go out there and really let the American people, you know what's going on. I'd like to see her going on outlets like Fox News. I'd like to see her going in there and mixing it up.
Well, do you get blowback from the White House? Because you, even now in this conversation, you're very tough on Biden. So when you say something critical.
Now, I want y'all to pay attention to what this news anchor said. He said, do you get blowback from the White House? Now, we've went over multiple videos where they talk about Charlamagne and his correspondence with the White House. Do you get a paycheck from the White House? Do you work for the White House, bro? Why do it matter what the White House say about what your opinion is? Are you under contract to only say certain things? Because I'll tell you what, that's one of the beauties of, you know what I'm saying, StreamYards and YouTube and Rumble. I don't care what the White House says or what they think. If you ask me, they don't think. I say what I want. I don't get any money from the government. This is what fuels my platform right here. You know what I'm saying? You guys. And because of you guys, I have the autonomy to be able to say what I want. Why is Charlamagne corresponding with the White House? Think about that, y'all. You gotta ask the question: is Charlamagne a plant? That, like, you're getting instruction and the government critiques what you say and you can only say certain things? What? Something to think about.
Called you here phone?
Yeah, and I think that's the stupidest ever, because I think that I'm sorry.
Shout out to Patrick. What's good with it, bro?
Yeah. Because I feel like you should be able to criticize whoever your elected official is, right? And even if I do criticize them, I'm criticizing them because of what I see coming up in November. I see what we're facing. So what I'm saying to them is, where is the sense of urgency? You can't keep saying that there's a threat to democracy, and democracy as we know it is going to be gone, but not act like it. And the other problem is they've always done this with every single Republican candidate. Since I've been alive, whoever the Republican presidential candidate has been, they've demonized. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if it's John McCain. It doesn't matter if it was, Mitt Romney. It doesn't matter who it is. They will demonize the Republican candidate. And now that there's an actual legitimate threat right there in our faces, they're like the party who cried wolf. Nobody believes them.
Do you think Trump's going to win?
I don't know, but that's what's scary about it, right? Because when you look at everything he's done, right?
He said that's what's scary about it. Now, let me ask y'all this. We're looking at this picture, right? We're looking at this video. Charlamagne looked pretty healthy. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't look like he really, been through, any rough times or anything like that. Him, like all of us, came out of a Trump presidency alive, unscathed. Democracy still intact. We've already been down this road. While Trump was president, we need to see videos of how Charlamagne was fearful of democracy decaying. Would you guys agree? Shout out to Carl Andrews. Carl Andrews says, that's white America. They always need to designate someone to represent the black voice. That's why we're going to designate Charlie Kirk to be their voice. We're going to designate him. We're going to have his designation ceremony very soon. Would you guys think that's a good idea? We're going to designate him. We're going to make some designations the same way we get designations made to us. Because we can do that. See, anything that they do to us, we can do to them.
Attempted coup of this country, put the Supreme Court judges on who got rid of Roe v. Wade, takes credit, says, I am the one who got rid of Roe v. Wade. Me, I did that. When you see all of that, it really shouldn't be close, right? But when you have a candidate like President Biden, who the polls are, saying had the lowest approval rating ever, and, he'd lose to a general election and a Trump, that's scary. That's what he's coming.
Shout out to Patrick Taylor. And I agree. Patrick said the truth is most of them think like Kirk. I agree 110%. And that's one of the reasons why it's even more important to designate him as their representative. Because then now you at a crossroads. You got to just go ahead and say, oh, yeah, that boy telling the truth. Or you got to take a hard right and say, nah, that's not what we feel. Okay, well, then what do you feel? Because you sound a lot like him. Now the pressure is on you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to John Davis. What's good with it, bro?
Conversations are coming from where they're like, yo, you might need to step aside and put somebody else in there. Because, my fear is that the election is going to be close, right?
You've got a very powerful voice. You've got, incredibly influential show. You've got an audience that Democrats especially crave. And obviously Nikki Haley coming on, Republicans as well. Are you going to be using that voice to try to affect the...
They put Nikki Haley on the show not to be an opposition. Nikki Haley came on that show as the Republican that Democrats would vote for, because she's a Democrat that calls herself a Republican. Would you guys agree? That's the reason why she was on the show. Nikki Haley wasn't on the show to get pressed. She was actually on the show for promotion.
This election?
I'm going to tell people exactly what I'm seeing. I'm not going to endorse anybody, but I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm seeing. And what I'm seeing is, democracy really on the brink, right? Like this is, I would tell my listeners exactly what I'm about to say right now.
So let me ask you guys this. Is an open border a sign of democracy being on the brink? Who got the open borders, ladies and gentlemen? If there's no national security awareness in the country and the borders are open, do we have democracy? Let me ask you guys another question. Are open borders a threat to democracy? That shout out to Torian. That's that skeptic grift.
That's that skeptic grift. Torian said he says he's not endorsing anyone, but his actions speak another thing. Facts. Super facts. And I got to agree with you, Mike. She's an establishment shill. Neoliberals and neoconservatives alike are comfortable with establishment hacks. Facts. She's a neocon, bro. Nikki Haley. She ain't no different than Biden. She ain't no different than Clinton, Bush, Obama. They're the same. All them people is the same. You know what I'm saying?
For years, they've told us that, you know, these people are threats to democracy. This person is absolutely a threat to democracy.
That sounds like an endorsement. I mean, it sounds like you're saying endorse not Donald Trump, which, as you've said,
Yeah.
it's going to be Biden.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's an endorsement. You know, I'm just simply telling people what is going on out there. Because I'm gonna speak the truth about Democrats too. Because I feel like if you lie to people about Democrats, they won't believe you when you tell them the truth about Republicans. So if I lie to people about what I see,
So do you see it? Do y'all see Charlamagne's little tricky little posturing that he's trying to do? If y'all see the little posturing maneuvers that Charlamagne is trying to do, give me a thumbs up. You see, you got to tell the truth about the Democrats. You see, you got to tell the truth about the Republicans, because then won't nobody believe you about the Democrats. Bro, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it, bro. We see this nonsense a mile away. We see this nonsense a mile away. How many people buying this nonsense? How many people buying this nonsense? Ain't nobody buying this nonsense over here.
Donald Trump, which, as you've said,
yeah,
it's going to be Biden.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's an endorsement. You know, I'm just simply telling people what is going on out there. Because I'm gonna speak the truth about Democrats too. Because I feel like if you lie to people about Democrats, they won't believe you when you tell them the truth about Republicans. So if I lie to people about what I see with Joe Biden, they're not going to believe me when I tell them the truth about what I see with Donald Trump.
And so when you tell them this quote unquote truth about Donald Trump, that's when you're going to pivot and try to get them to vote blue no matter who. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Them days are over with. Them days should have never been. Them days should have never existed. But they're long over with now. Would you guys agree? Them days are long over with now.
So all you got to do at this point, and I hate to say this, but why do we keep having to say this? Pick your poison. One poison might send you to the hospital for a couple of days.
Yeah.
The other one's gonna absolutely kill you.
Ain't nobody picking poison. You know what I'm saying? We eating vitamins. We eating vegetables. And we drinking alkaline water over here. Ain't nobody picking poison, clown.